What's going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. But before I get into today's segment, let's talk about our sponsor, Cool Green Clothing out of Baltimore, Maryland. The hottest brand around, you feel me? You can follow them on Instagram at Cool Green Clothing, Facebook Cool Green Clothing, website www.coolgreenclothing.com.
Yeah, shout out my nigga Cool Green on the fit though. Got me drippy, you heard?
Oh man, check out my man, yo, you feel me? Yo, be getting me right, you feel me? Big clothing for real, you feel me? Come with everything for real. I'm grabbing everything from my man, yo, you feel me? Shout out to my man, yo, you feel me? Support, you heard? Yes, sir.
Cool Green right here, Sadie. Cool Green, you already know downtown Baltimore Way, that's where we at. You already know representing New York, Harlem shit right here, uptown. But we downtown right now. You see that? My man, yo, come and get my man Cool Green. Rock it, you see it. I'm gonna make it look good for niggas to get. Daddy, sales is going up today because of the Cool Greens.
And I'm telling you, follow Cool Green Clothing. It's so important for us to support our entrepreneurs. There's so much talent in Baltimore. And as a creative entrepreneur myself, I know how hard it is. And I love to see just people going out there and going for their dreams. So let's get it. Bless up.
Today's video, we're going to talk about a young man that go by the name of U.B. That's abbreviation for his name. For y'all that don't know, that's what I do. Let's get right into it. Baltimore, Maryland. When people ask about my city, I always tell people it's two sides. If you mind your business, go to work, stay out the way, play the family role, you can stay under the radar. But if you want to play the streets and you looking for gangster activity, you definitely gonna get everything you looking for. As we all know from previous episodes, BPD or Baltimore Police Department can play a dirty game. Charm City can be just that, charming, a beautiful place, but it can also turn to harm city real fast. Whether it's hanging on the wrong block, having the wrong friends, or being pulled over and searched by the wrong police. Definitely gotta be more careful in the Baltimore streets. For one man we will call U.B, he knew all about the dangers of the city. Trying to find his way through it all, U.B would make a few mistakes, as we all do, but nothing too crazy. Petty charges, petty charge here, petty charge there, but nothing really a stick. Around about this time, the GTTF, or Gun Task Force, a branch of the Baltimore Police, I also did a video on that, were terrorizing the Baltimore streets. Whether it was taking off hustlers for product, setting up traps to get licked, or planting narcotics on people. It was best to stay out their way, and U.B knew that. Police were frustrated with him though. Many times they tried to arrest him and send him off, nothing would stick, until one fateful day that would change everything. While U.B and the associate was sitting in the car, plainclothes men in unmarked cars came speeding up. Scared they were being ambushed or a robbery attempt, U.B and his homie sped off, but would collide with another vehicle, leaving the driver fatally hurt and gone. As U.B looked up and realized it was GTTF, he already knew the damage was done. As the police searched the vehicle, they did not find any product or weapons. But with one person gone, the GTTF knew they had to justify the stop and search. Doing what the boys do best, they planted 32 grams of smack on U.B and his homie, and the two were charged in federal possession charges, and they were convicted. Saying they were innocent didn't help much. U.B.'s homie would be released after doing over 3.5 years in prison, but U.B was still incarcerated with no end in sight. Until one fateful day, the GTTF would go into investigation themselves and be charged themselves of crimes. He couldn't believe it. He told everybody he was telling the truth and wanted to immediately look back into his case. After 7 years in prison, U.B was released and left Baltimore City Police stunned. He would get his lawyers involved to sue the city for wrongful incarceration and taking over 7 years of his life. But it wasn't over just yet. Even though U.B was a free man, he was broke at the time and didn't know if he would win the case. During this period, as we all know, the boys in blue stick together. They constantly stopped U.B and searched him in his vehicle looking for anything to discredit the man in his case. But he would make it through the storm. 2 years later, the sun would shine bright, and U.B and his homie would win a case, and they would faithfully be rewarded the biggest settlement in Baltimore history, almost $8 million for their pain and suffering. Spending over 10 years combined in prison on false charges. Even though that was a big blessing, U.B wasn't nobody's fool. He knew between the police and stick-up boys, once he got his bread, he had to relocate, and he did just that. Going to Virginia with his girl. Beautiful story, right? Wrong. Things were just getting started. As U.B was settling into his new life, one night at a hotel would lead to a chaotic situation. Allegedly, U.B pulled out a blicky and hit his girl up. After police was called, he fled in a U-Haul. Police blicked at the truck and shot the windows out, but he kept going. When he eventually got caught in the Commonwealth of Virginia, they charged U.B with attempt hit, weapon charges, and trying to harm officers. It was all bad for the new millionaire. This story left me speechless. After all he been through and overcame, to go out like this, no. All I conclude is even though we escape our environment, we can't escape the trauma and emotional scars it leaves on us. And what we go through on the inside sometimes comes to the surface. I don't know if U.B hit up the girl or not, but if so, not making no excuses, maybe he was paranoid and thought everybody was out to get him. As far as running from the police, I know for a fact he didn't want to go back to prison. Moral of the story, money doesn't buy happiness. Fight your demons head on. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But hey, that's the Baltimore way. Man, that's a crazy story. Like him and his homeboy, you know, they was just chilling on the block, regular situation. They wasn't doing nothing. The GTTF pulled up on them, you see what I'm saying? But they was in unmarked cars. They had on regular clothes, so they ain't know who they was. They thinking somebody trying to get them. And then when they pulled off, they hit another car and the person ain't make it. So they got incarcerated after the police planted the 32 rounds on them. Bro came home, got the money. Man, that just is crazy. But he went back to prison in Virginia, like I said, for allegedly hitting up his girl. Man, that's a crazy story. You know what I mean? That's why I say money don't buy happiness, man. That's a message in this, you feel me? We gotta make ourselves happy, man. Look within. But yeah, make sure y'all follow today's sponsor, Cool Grain Clothing. Show some love. Hottest brand coming up out of Baltimore. I appreciate y'all, fam. Be sure to like, comment, share. Love. I'm out.